Wait, there's something very weak coming through.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Hello, fellow Galactic listeners. I'm Aaron Julian, and this is WSTR Galactic Public Access, a Star Wars podcast. Welcome to episode 86. Today, we are doing another Imperial inspection segment on Boba Fett. But first, let me introduce everybody joining us today. The incomparable Miss Heather Allred.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome back. Glad to have you.
Thank you. Sorry, guys. I know it was rough without me last week.
We're just two fine gentlemen trying to make our way through the galaxy, and it wasn't working out very well.
We missed you. You're back.
Thanks, guys.
And we have the great and powerful Mr. Todd Hoffman.
Man, all these adjectives, I can't handle it. Heather knighted me, and then you're giving me all these fun adjectives. It's fantastic. Glad to be back.
Well, if this continues, you'll have a full on wrestler intro before too long.
Right. I'm just going to add all the adjectives together over the last episodes, and then I'll put it on there and be like, you have to call me this now.
Yep. Or you're not signing the contract.
Right. Exactly.
All right. With that out of the way, you can check us out on social media, WSTR Media, all one word, all lowercase. We're quite active on there, or I should say Todd is. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, we're all over the place. Email us at mailbox@wstrmedia.com. Leave us a voicemail at 630-557-WSTR. That's 630-557-9787. You can catch our entire back catalog of episodes at wstrmedia.com. And now you can subscribe to our YouTube channel to make sure you don't miss our next live stream. We promise it's coming back.
When is it happening?
Yes. So we're at this stage where, imagine me leaving home, going into school, and it's like the rebels leaving the base on Hoth.
We forgot some things.
Yeah, just leave all the furniture. Just bring what you can carry with you.
Yeah.
And we got to find a new rebel base to set up shop in. So, things are in flux now that I'm at school. Need to figure out a place to semi-permanently install my desktop, and once we can get straight into live streaming. But for now, you're just going to have to deal with audio only.
You're so close.
We're just as entertaining in audio.
Right.
Back to the Stone Age.
Yeah, I know.
Might as well get 2 tin cans and a string. But hey, somebody who believes in podcasts is Audible. You can get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial of the Audible service at www.audibletrial.com/WSTR, where they have over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. That's quite a lot. When do you think they'll get to 200,000? Do you think this number's old?
Oh, yeah, it's got to be old, dude.
Ooh.
It's at least a few months old.
Exactly.
See if we can get updated copy on that. But hey, you download your free audiobook today. That's audibletrial.com/WSTR. Get yourself a little companion on the road. When you're traveling. Truck drivers, we know you're out there. You got a lot of ground to cover. A lot of cornfields to look at.
A lot of cornfields.
It gets pretty boring. But hey, instead, you could be zooming along to Thrawn Alliances. That's a novel by Timothy Zahn, sequel to the 2017 novel Thrawn. And hey, it's out. It's fully voiced,
out there.
fully recorded by the great and powerful Mark Thompson. And yes, it's amazing. Go check it out. Hours and hours of entertainment for free. And hey, if you hate it, send it back to Audible. Say, hey, I don't want your service anymore. No questions asked. They'll just take it. But you get to keep the book.
Oh, okay.
That's insane.
Right.
So, audibletrial.com/WSTR. And finally, we got merch.
Yeah, we do.
going over to teespring.com/WSTR media-T. That's TEE spring.com/WSTR media-TEE. T as in B. We got t-shirt, tank top, coffee mug.
Coffee mug.
No matter the occasion, you can represent your favorite podcast.
That's right.
Help support us. Get some sweet swag. Do people say that anymore? Probably not. Anyway.
And then when you get your swag, post it on social media so we can see it.
Yeah.
That's true.
We'll bump you. We'll get you out there.
We'll get you out there. So, dude, I just did a quick Google search. It's like 425,000 Audible books.
Whoa! Okay.
Dude.
We are updating that ad copy right now.
We're way off on our numbers.
Oh, man.
We've been lying to you this whole time?
So many cookbooks.
It's like the opposite of that scene in the 10 Commandments or History of the World Part 1.
Yeah.
Where he comes down the mountain with the 15 commandments. Drops one of them.
10
commandments. 180,000 titles. 425,000. Yes.
So, there's a lot. There's a lot to choose from.
That's enough.
All right, let's rein it in, boys.
Plugging for money.
All right.
We got a new segment coming right at you. It's some intercepted Imperial Transmissions.
Senator! Intercepted Imperial Transmission, Mom.
All right, so we got some mail. This is our mailbag segment. Someone decided to finally use mailbox at WSTRmedia.com, and hey, we are featuring them on today's podcast.
Hey, we promised if you mailed us, we'll read it, and we're doing it.
You didn't believe us.
It's happening.
You didn't send us diddly squat.
Yeah.
But now we got something.
We got something.
Intercepted transmission from over the HoloNet. So, hello everyone at WSTR Media. I'm a recent listener and follower of your podcast, hailing from New Jersey. Just wanted to let you know that you guys are always putting out great Star Wars content. I love the up-to-date news, cantina chat, and discussions about the movies and different characters in the franchise. Keep up the awesome work. Well, thank you.
That's very
nice to hear.
Yes.
After listening to your most recent episode in which Todd talked about the power of costume, I just wanted to comment that it is really an amazing exhibit. I was able to see it at Discover Times Square in New York City a little over 2 years ago, and I can attest that it is definitely not something to miss. At the time, I was not yet part of the 501st or Rebel Legion. Now that I am, I wish I could go back to see it all again and get some good detailed photos of the costume parts and materials to help with my builds. Like Todd said, I could probably spend hours and hours just looking at everything and documenting it all. Once again, I love listening to your podcast. Looking forward to next week and many more episodes to entertain me during my commute to and from work every day. May the force be with you, Carla G. Well, that is a fantastic letter. Thank you. Yes, it is Carla G. Heather, do you know this person?
I don't. I'm just just sending the love.
You see, sounded like you might. Okay. Misinterpretation. Classic. Anyway, well, Carla, we'd be interested what kind of costumes you've made for the 501st and or Rebel Legion. So send us a few pictures and we'll blast you on the socials. For sure. Todd, any thoughts on this lovely piece of literature?
Yes. This Power of the Costume's been out for a hot minute. So Detroit is literally the last stop on the show. So it's been out for quite some time. So, I too wish I could go back right now and just take more pictures. But because she said that was a little over 2 years ago. That's like a long time.
Yep.
It's crazy.
But you got a whole month, September 30th. September 30th is when the Detroit exhibit ends. So,
are they moving on anywhere after that?
No, it's the last stop, dude.
What?
On the crazy train.
Oh my gosh.
You guys got to get over there right now.
It's going.
Guys, I gotta go.
Yeah, yeah. It's literally going back to probably Lucas, film and get back in a crate. Not crate, salt crate, but crate, a real crate, So, but yeah, we really appreciate it, Carla G. That is awesome. Definitely, if you got some 501st or Rebel Legion pics, send us our way, and we'll tweet that up. Okay, we got another segment here, man. This is we're just blowing out new segments here. Twitter Trash Compactor is the running title right now. Might be something different next week. Who knows? But yeah, we're starting to do some Twitter polls. So it's going to be based obviously on what we were talking about that week. And last week we were talking all about the power of the costume. And so we put on the old Twitter poll. And again, they only got 4 slots. So it says, what is your favorite costume in Star Wars? Kind of hard to limit it to 4. So comment below. And we had Darth Vader, anything Padme, Imperial side or Rebellion side, and Darth Vader edged out Padme for the number 1 spot.
What?
I know.
It's rigged.
Apparently, apparently you did not go to the exhibit because there's so much Padme. There's only one Darth Vader, but
he's got
so
one
not
outfit,
impressed?
people. He's got one outfit.
Oh, but it's impressive.
I voted for Padme, but that's okay. Whatever.
That's okay. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. I mean, he is iconic. He is pretty iconic.
Yes.
So, but there you go.
No, if the question was who had the most iconic costume,
then you would take that. Okay.
It would have been different.
All right. Okay.
Nuances, people. It's all about the nuances.
It is. All right. I'll try to word it better next time. So, it's more favorable for you, Heather.
Which is what it's all about anyway.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So there you go. That's we'll be looking at those polls. And so, yeah, that's our Twitter Trash Compactor segment there. So
get in there. I don't care what you smell. Pretty good description of Twitter.
Some rescue. Anyways, all right. Moving on to our main topic.
And now for our feature presentation.
All right, we're talking Boba Fett here, man. Boba Fett. Oh man, he's something else. So if you don't know this, Boba Fett is a bounty hunter that shows up in Empire Strikes Back. And if you miss him, because he's not really in there a long time, if you just blink, he's gone, And but yeah, he's probably my favorite character in Star Wars. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna get that off my chest right now. So there you go.
Okay.
But
truth comes out.
Yeah, it comes out. Boba Fett's screen time is a whopping 6 minutes and 32 seconds, where 13 of those seconds he's flying his own ship, and his one scene is over a minute long, and he speaks a total of 27 words. Can I get an amen? This guy's awesome.
That's bang for your buck right there.
That's right. So
super concentrated.
Yeah. So in the original trilogy, he shows up in Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. If we go special edition, and Aaron, we just literally talked about this last week, he makes a nice little cameo in A New Hope, and he literally stares at the camera like breaking the fourth wall, and it's like, oh, hi, Boba. How are you? I'm here. See?
You guys wanted this.
He's like, I didn't trust Greedo, so I'm here to back up Jabba because I just have to be here, But yeah, he's not there a whole lot. So roughly, he's probably in it less than 20 minutes of the whole Star Wars, original trilogy,
Right.
And then we just ran this new segment the other week. Jeremy Bullock, who played Boba Fett in Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, is retiring from the cosplay convention kind of circuit. He's getting up there in years. But he's not there's quite a few people that played Boba Fett, if you didn't know this. And one of the things that kind of blows my mind.
What?
Yes. It's crazy. I know.
You're breaking the illusion.
But one of my favorite scenes is when Han Solo is getting tortured on Cloud City, right? Y'all remember that? And, Boba Fett kind of gives a head nod.
Tell me how you really feel about him.
Right. Boba Fett's looking at Lando, and then, then Darth Vader comes out, and he's like, he's, no good to me dead. That's not Jeremy Bullock. That is, Jeremy Bullock got sick. So they're like, we have to film. We have to do this. And then they put John Fast Morton in this. You're like, John Fast Morton? Who's that dude? That's Dak from Empire Strikes Back, Snowspeeder Dak, who is trying to suppress the fire controls. And Luke's like, just get on the control, Dak. And he dies. So that actor who played Dak as the Rebel Snowspeeder pilot also played one of the best scenes in Empire Strikes Back with Boba Fett, and it's not even Jeremy Bullock. So there you go.
I'm curious to know why the actor was still sticking around. When his part's done, presumably?
No, they don't. Again, Aaron, they don't film it in sequence. And
I know.
Jeez, man. He's also, Boba Fett is also voiced by two different guys. Of course, Jason Wingreen is the original release of Boba Fett, but with the prequels, our good friend, help me with his first name. I am going to butcher it. Tamora Morrison. Yeah, Tamora Morrison. So Tamora Morrison is Jango Fett, the Big Daddy. He ends up voicing, and that's on the special edition as well. It's really on the Blu-ray is where you're going to see or hear his voice. And so he sounds like a clone because he's Big Daddy Jango Fett is doing the voice as well. So there you go. So
they done Jason Wingreen wrong.
He gone. Yeah. Well, there's not a lot of people that they've done wrong, David Prowse. But all right, so here's the lines for Boba Fett. You ready for this? Okay, here we go. 5 sentences. Again, he's not in here that long. So he says,
"As you wish,"
which is towards Vader.
He's no good to me dead.
Again, that's out of the Han Solo torture thing.
What if he doesn't survive? He's worth a lot to me.
Which is a good line. That's in the carbonite freezing chamber. And then
put Captain Solo in the cargo hold.
And that's out on the docking bay in Cloud City. And he doesn't say anything in Return of the Jedi. Except the infamous Wilhelm scream, which he falls into the Sarlacc pit. That's it. That's all you wrote.
Huh. That's all you need.
That's all. Apparently, that's all you need, right?
That's all he needs. Yep.
So, before we go on, why do you think, Aaron? Why do you think he's so popular if he only says 5 sentences?
Beats me. I mean, look, I'm trying to think, what kind of purpose does he serve the story? And it's not really much. I mean, he's basically a, I guess, antagonist to, or what's the right word? It's like rival. He's basically like we'll just go with that, rival. He's a rival to Han Solo, and I mean, he does kind of prove his wit and quick thinking by foiling When the Millennium Falcon is stuck to the back of the Star Destroyer, they dump the garbage and he leaves. Like Boba Fett figures that out right away. And so he's a smart dude. So I guess in one purpose that's how he serves the story, but that doesn't seem really enough in my mind to really cement him as this kind of legendary figure. Maybe it's just the appearance that he has, that kind of mystery where we don't really know his past or what he's up to, what he really wants besides capturing Solo for Jabba, and maybe that's enough. But to me, it's just like a very, very tangential character, where he's just there for that one little bit, and it's like you would think you would need a much more complex character to have it really stick in people's minds. But to me, he seems pretty simple. And that's kind of why I'm scratching my head here.
Okay. Heather, what are your thoughts on Boba?
Yeah. I was going to definitely say a little bit of what Aaron said. He's a mystery. You are seeing all these other characters with levels of complexity, and he's got one goal and one goal only, and obviously he doesn't say much, and he knows what he needs to do. I also really love that he kind of doesn't care about anything going on around him other than his mission. You can kind of just tell in his demeanor, his posture, how he interacts with people. Like, I don't have time to have a conversation with you. Like, just specifically like in the second line, well, what if he doesn't survive? Like, well, then what am I supposed to do? That screws up my mission.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I, similar to what we were just talking about with Vader, he has a very striking look. I think there's a level of just intrigue when you see him, and then to find that he doesn't speak more than what he needs to, but still gets his point across. I find that very fascinating. It makes me want to know more. As the person who has really only seen the films and what additional materials you guys exposed me to, is there more out there? And then obviously we get the prequels where we learn a little bit more about his father and such of that nature. But from the original trilogy, it's like, I don't know who this guy is, but he seems to be kicking a little behind.
Hey, when Vader,
caring.
All right, here's where it sells it for me. It's right on the deck when they're on the executor and Darth Vader, is there, and bounty hunters, we don't need their scum, and you get the close up of Bosk. He's like, Darth Vader points to Boba Fett and says, "No disintegrations." I in my little hearts, when I was a little boy, I'm like, this dude is balling. I didn't say he was balling probably back then, but I was like, this guy's a bad guy. I mean, Darth Vader's calling him out like, hey, dude, you can't be doing that. I need this guy, So I'm like, if Boba Fett's disintegrating people, he's a pretty bad dude. So that's
right.
Yeah. That to me is all I needed. I was like, okay, of all the bounty hunters that are lined up, and he's got a little rogue gallery right there. He specifically points out Boba Fett. And I'm just like, these guys got history, and they've had some dealings before. Boba Fett's, well, you didn't tell me I have to bring him back. I just disintegrated them, It's like,
and yet he's valuable enough that they're willing to do business with him again.
That's right.
Right.
Dirty deeds done dirt cheap. Cue it up, man. Let's do it. Yeah. So that's to me, it's that little dialogue, and really the look for me is what got me hooked on why Boba Fett's my favorite character, and yeah. So there you go. But this Empire Strikes Back was not his first appearance.
What?
Yes, I know.
Say it. Then tell us more. Tell us more.
Okay, so, it's hard to imagine, but, back in the day, 1978, they didn't have Twitter. They didn't have Instagram. They had nothing. No Facebook. No internet. So what do? On September 24th, 1978, put Boba Fett in a parade with Darth Vader. And he marched in the San Anselmo County Fair Parade. It's in California. And that's where Boba Fett made his first public appearance. And of course, it wasn't Jeremy Bullock because he's an actor. It was Dwayne Dunham, and he was the assistant film editor on Empire and Jedi. And he's the guy that wore the suit for the prototype run, kind of get a little test run. And that's how they broke Boba Fett.
He was patient zero. He was the A number one.
A number one. Yeah, exactly. So that is the first public appearance of Boba Fett. So that's when he tested it out, and then he makes another appearance in the 1978 Thou Shalt Not Be Named Star Wars Holiday Special. Boba Fett rides a lizard people, and he has a trident. That is all you have to say about Boba Fett in the Holiday Special. He is amazing.
Listen, if there's a man with a trident, even if he's not riding a brontosaurus,
right?
You listen to him.
You listen to him. He has a trident.
You hear what he has to say.
Yeah. That to me, this is the only thing that I know that is true, is that it is on the Blu-ray edition, and you can find that little cartoon segment, and that is the only thing that has ever come out of the holiday special that Lucas has replicated. So, So if you want to find that gem, it is on the Star Wars Blu-ray. So there you go. So that's really, I'm still believing Boba Fett's alive. I know he jumped in the Sarlacc pit and screamed his little head off, but that sail barge blew up, and it probably blew up the Sarlacc, and Boba Fett just popped out. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's my main fan theory, because I want Boba Fett to still be alive. So,
if he comes back in episode 9, he's going to be elderly and infirm.
This is true.
I'll get you, Solo.
Well, Solo's dead. He can't get him, man.
Oops. I guess he serves no more purpose.
Oops. But Heather alluded to this. So, that was our, 1983, Boba Fett's done. 1999, Star Wars is back. And a young Boba Fett shows up in Attack of the Clones in the old prequels. So, Aaron, what did we learn in Attack of the Clones about Boba Fett?
He is an unaltered child clone given to Jango Fett as a kind of thank you for giving his DNA for the clone army. He had a special request. He wanted one that hasn't been tampered with to raise as a son. So, for those who don't know, the clones, they're genetically modified to grow super, super fast.
Super fast.
But Jango wanted one to just grow up normally. So that's Boba Fett.
Jango was like, I'm a baby daddy to all these clones, but I want one special one just so he can, basically nurture as his own.
Todd, would that be weird to, like, let's say Trent starts growing up and he starts looking like your baby pictures.
Yeah.
And he starts looking like your grade school pictures. You're like, wait a minute. I'm looking at me. That'd be so uncanny. So weird. Why? Why would he ask such a thing?
It's weird, right? It's like, dude, you're identical to me. You look like me when I was 17. Oh, that's right. You are me.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
It is weird. Yeah, Heather, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. I'm not gonna lie to anybody.
Yeah.
I will admit the first time I watched it, I didn't actually put the full picture together.
Oh man.
I know, you guys.
Oh, man.
Just
we'll bear with you. We'll bear with you.
You will be tested on this.
okay, great.
So
But yeah,
start taking notes.
I mean, I would ask Bruce question after question, be like, Bruce, I don't get it. And I kept referring to Django as Jenga and Boba as Bobo because I kept getting the last letter confused.
no.
I mean,
tomato,
enough
tomato.
to get me kicked off of this podcast, basically. But yeah, so it's weird. I think it's interesting. I think if you look deeper at it, it's an interesting look at even among, the white clinical science of all of it, that there is still good in people. Like, it's a really weird tangent to take it on, but there's still a human element within it, which I find interesting.
How exactly does that apply to Django and or Boba?
Oh, just the fact that, sorry, thoughts. Django.
Processing.
It's compute.
Right.
Just being, what you see, again, just what I know of from the film, just seeing this really kind of stark world with everybody being the same and how easy it would have been to just sort of go along with it, but make a request to live a component of his life as like a normal guy. Like,
Yeah.
put in little quote marks for the
Yeah.
listeners to see, and what that looks like, and did he want something better for this one kid, for this, to become his son? Did he want a life different than this clone army component, to then have him become a bounty hunter and still kill people? So, like, I don't know.
Well, at least he had that choice.
He had a choice. Yes,
Yeah.
there was the human element behind what appears to be a very scientific, weird thing.
Well, yeah, I mean that is the Clone Wars. That's part of the documentary of Clone Wars, is that these soldiers are people, but some people refer to them as wet bags. Like they're cannon fodder. But you do bring up an interesting point, because again, it's another interesting father and son relationship. And they do. I mean, one of my favorite parts in Attack of the Clones, obviously, Ben Burt laying down the sound of those like seismic charges, and Django and Boba are like laughing. Like Boba has that little laugh, and I'm just like, dude, this is so cool. Like, it's like, he's learned daddy's trade and trying to take off Jedi. Like, he sees from a moral perspective, this is what daddy does, and he's following those footsteps. And the fact that, like, again, a little cyclical, but Django stands up to Obi-Wan and Boba doesn't even hesitate when he sees Luke. Like, you know what I'm saying? You see that in Return of the Jedi, like, it's just another theme. And that's where Star Wars is so cool. It's got those layers. And Heather, you bring up a really good point. I really didn't think about like the human element. It's kind of a weird, it's just a little, like he wanted that little piece of like normalcy, even though, to Aaron's point, it's weird that he's going to look like you the whole time.
Yeah. Do you think Django had short hair growing up, and he's like, listen, I got to make you look a little less like me. So
right, yeah.
you're growing it out.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if Django survived Attack of Clones, it'd be like, hey, can you just stand and look at me? I just want to look in the mirror, and make sure I look good, blah, blah, blah. But unfortunately, Mace did not make that happen. And there's that part in Attack of Clones where he looks at the helmet and kind of does like, puts his head on the helmet and temple to temple, and it's a tender moment. So that kind of set Boba Fett on his path, following in Daddy's footsteps, and Aaron, who's going through the Clone Wars for the first time, will find out the hijinks of what happens. There are some young Boba Fett as he gets his gang of fellow men in the bounty hunter clan. So you get to check that out in the Clone Wars. But we owe the look to none other than their grandfather himself, Ralph McQuarrie.
Of course.
So of course, so Ralph McQuarrie was designing different stormtroopers, and that's kind of where this came out of. And so Ralph McQuarrie had to design, and Joe Johnson kind of finished it up, and then Norman Reynolds is the one that actually built the costume. And the original design was kind of like a Super Trooper, not the Super Troopers like
like an ABBA.
Well, the Super Troopers like the movie, not like that. But yeah, so it was all in white. So there's a couple. You're going to see this on the old action figure, and sometimes it's a chase figure, but it's like the prototype Boba Fett, as it's called, and he's all in white. And that kind of goes to the Super Trooper. I'm using air quotes, Super Trooper, because he's kind of more of like a stormtrooper because he's all white, but he's got a jetpack and a little cape and all this kind of fun stuff. And in what they've done in Star Wars land is beat him up like crazy. So his armor is all kind of dinged up and got a cool little paint scheme. And that's where the final Fett armor has laid. But yeah, it's he's got the look, and we owe that to our good friend Ralph McQuarrie. So there you go. A little news, and this I'm hanging on to this, man. This is what I'm hanging on, man. So George basically said that he wanted to keep Boba Fett around, and that he wasn't dead in the Sarlacc, but that has never been canon. And so so we'll just have to live on that. And then Aaron, you know about this too. Star Wars 1313 was really supposed to be Uncharted in space for a Star Wars game, and it was going to follow Boba Fett. So
rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Pour one out for your homeboy.
Yeah, I know, right? For sure. So, so there you have it. I mean, there's Boba Fett is definitely an enigma in the Star Wars lore, and he kind of follows our good friend Darth Maul too, where in this case George is like, hey, yeah, you know how like Boba Fett fell down the Sarlacc and we don't see him, but like in A Phantom Menace, they slice Darth Maul in half. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he dead. And
we see the body.
We see the body in two.
Both halves of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So he dead. But George is like, yeah, I want to bring him back. So he kind of comes back in the Clone Wars, And so hatred kept him alive, if you want to follow that path. But Darth Maul comes back, and then to add even more confusion, Darth Maul shows up in Solo. So people are like, wait a minute, who don't see cartoons or like Aaron just waits 7 or 8 years to see Clone Wars are really confused when that cameo happens. Like, wait a minute, Darth Maul's back. And maybe people have the same thing when Boba Fett shows up in Episode 9. And he's riding a horse or a big brontosaurus with a trident, and we'll see him all in his glory again. But I feel like
the lesson here is with Star Wars now, no one's dead.
No one's dead.
No one's
dead.
Right.
No, dead. Yeah, exactly. Especially if you like realize like, you know, like they're really cool. It's like, oh man, Boba Fett's trending. We gotta like bring him back, you know. But you know, the other thing that is very similar into a lot of Star Wars stuff is that Boba Fett is not named in The Empire Strikes Back. He's called Bounty Hunter, and so in his name is not mentioned at all until Han Solo says his name in Return of the Jedi. So there you have it. So yeah, that was a common thing because a lot of these, you know, the Cantina aliens, all that stuff, they wouldn't name them until the merchandising was needed for the action figures. They're like, oh, we just can't call this guy a bounty hunter. You know, there's 6 of them up there. We got to call him something. So that's where Boba Fett came out. So, yeah. Any closing thoughts on the Boba Fett, Heather?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the question that you had asked about maybe why he's so popular or what about him, I don't remember. That was like several minutes ago. But I think what's really cool is you've got someone like Luke, who's this like really geeky guy who's kind of getting his chance to be somebody. So I think kids can relate to that. Then you've got Han, your smooth talking, you know, cool kid from the cool kids table.
Did we lose Heather?
Oh no! Did you lose me?
Yeah, we did for a second.
Just when you started speaking. So
it wasn't really anything important, guys. Don't worry.
Okay, I made a timestamp, so just
say your thing. Just say your thoughts.
Just say it again. Okay.
Yep.
So, so basically, what I think is really cool is you've got Luke Skywalker, kind of geeky, doing his thing.
Yeah.
What have you?
Yep.
Coming his own. Then you've got Han, who's like the cool kid from the cool kid table. Right? And then you've got, you know, Lando, who's like the exchange student that comes into town and you're all like fascinated by him kind of a thing. But like the cool kid kind of hates him a little bit because there's something cooler about him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got Boba Fett, who's sort of like the weird theater kid. Who, you know, doesn't really quite fit in. He really only has one thing, you know, like one mission. Like I said earlier, I don't know.
He's got the rat tail thing.
He's got like the rat tail.
Yeah.
Popped. I mean, you know, whatever we need to look at. I don't know. It was an interesting, you know, kind of dichotomy that I was thinking of just like, how does he fit into like what George created in regards to this film connecting the kids kind of a thing. So I don't know. That's all.
Well, for me, he's the it goes back to the spaghetti Western kind of feel. He's
sure.
He's like a Clint Eastwood kind of guy. I mean, Han, that's why Han and Boba are kind of, you know, like mirror opposites of each other, because he's the antagonist that is in that world and doesn't have to say much because he's got one thing on his mind. It's only money. You know, he is. That's the only thing he's worried about, you know, and it doesn't matter if it's for the rebellion and the Empire, but he definitely has a relationship with Vader. You know, they go out to lunch. He's like, hey, Boba, why don't you come to lunch with me? Gonna invite a couple close friends, and, you know, shows up in Cloud City there. But yeah, I think for me, he fits that kind of archetype as far as like a gunslinger, spaghetti Western kind of Clint Eastwood feel. And again, that's why I like his look. I like his 6 lines of dialogue and all that. Aaron, what's your closing thoughts on Boba Fett?
You know what? I'll say it right here. I love poking fun at the guy, but this episode made me appreciate him just a little bit more.
Yes.
So, you happy now?
I am happy now. Happy now.
I don't know. He's just, I guess the power of his appeal is just that kind of like mysterious stranger archetype where it's like you never really know what he's going to do next. And he, like a Clint Eastwood character, he just kind of rides into town without a name, without a history or anything like that. But, you know, he means business. And, he's dangerous. So
he's dangerous. Yeah.
So for what that's worth, that's pretty darn cool.
That is cool. I appreciate your openness, man. See, winning people over every day, man.
You know what? I genuinely enjoy when I can have my thinking expanded and mind changed. Like, that's good. People, whatever. I'll admit when I'm wrong to something. Not that this is something that you could be wrong about. It's opinion. It's opinion about a spaceman. But there's no need to be in conflict about this.
Yeah, I know I won you over with a trident and a brontosaurus, so I know that's where. Yeah,
I'm just thinking if I walking down the streets of Chicago, if I saw a dude with a trident, the night is going in a very interesting direction.
That's right. All right, well there you have it. Heather says Weird Theory Kid. I say Clint Eastwood, and Aaron changed his mind. So there you go. That's Boba Fett, Imperial Inspection. All right, let's move on to news of the week.
And now, the Star Wars news of the week.
There's certain things in life that, everything kind of lines up, and we're putting this together, this episode. I'm like, okay, I got to look at some news. And I saw this and I was like, yep, the Force is strong. So here we go. From Movie Web, Boba Fett and the Clone Army returns for episode 9.
Oh my goodness.
I will just end the episode right here. Just leave it now. So, again, this is just theory. Let's just throw it out there right now. But, we have to write some stuff because it takes 16 months before we get to actually see it in the theater. But the Clone Army, as you know, was mentioned in The Force Awakens because Finn kind of goes rogue and, Kylo kind of puts a little salt on the Huck's wound and says, a Clone Army would, follow my orders, blah, 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 so clones have been mentioned in the new Disney era, but it basically saying that, bringing back the Clone Army would be something that maybe Kylo was secretly working on and needs to kind of swat out the resistance. And who better to raise that Clone Army than a clone himself, Boba freaking Fett. So there you go. That's
You're gonna make me go back.
I know. It's a fan theory, bro. It's fan theory.
I know.
So there you go. Okay.
Just push him back a little bit. I mean,
I
feel like okay. I can't know for sure, but I feel like the Hux line about the Clone Army was kind of supposed to be a little tongue-in-cheek reference to the prequels.
Okay.
Maybe not supposed to have been taken seriously as, we have, this item in our shopping cart.
Right.
But,
right, yeah.
So,
yeah.
I think it's pretty tenuous to say that, this is a good possibility, but hey, maybe it'll work out and we'll all be happy. And
that's right.
Go out of the theater, locked arms, skipping off into the sunset.
Well, I'll screaming, Boba Fett is not dead. He's alive. Yeah. So there you go. All right. What else is going on in the news, Aaron?
Well, funny you should ask. This broke out on Deadline. What a strange name for a news source, but
sounds awesome.
Dominic
Flatline,
Yeah. Well, yeah, I suppose.
It's the same, I guess.
Dominic Monaghan is joining the cast of Star Wars Episode 9.
What?
Yeah.
The Hobbits are coming. Right? The Hobbits are coming.
They're bringing the Hobbits to Isengard.
Yes.
Not sure what role they'll be playing, but he's set. It's locked in. Contract signed. Ink is dry. And it reunites him with J.J. Abrams, with whom he did the ABC series Lost.
Yeah.
It's also his second billion-dollar franchise. Of course, he came to fame playing Merry, one of Frodo's wingmen in all 3 installments of Lord of the Rings. So it's not that surprising that he would end up in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
Back in 2014, he says, look, I want to work with Abrams again, especially now that he's got Star Wars, which, as we all know, is a license to print money. So please get me in on that,
Right.
if you so. And now he's got his chance. So, Dominic, you looking to buy that flat screen TV? Well, you could probably afford it now. So.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, no, that was going to be my question. Do you think he would be a masked character or unmasked character?
Probably masked.
Okay. Because we know Simon Pegg wanted to be in Star Wars, and he loved JJ, so they came together, and he became a masked character.
Yeah. So, and I guess CGI counts as masked too, but
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, because we've had some celebrity cameos already in Star Wars, but it's all like stormtroopers, so it's like, oh, I'm in that scene, I think.
Right.
So, yeah. But if he's cast and it's this big casting decision, I guess on the other hand, he's probably going to have some spoken lines, so maybe not.
Heather, are you happy with this news?
I am not unpleased.
Displeased.
Still have, I'm not sure, major crush on Dominic from Lord of the Rings. He was my favorite Hobbit.
Easter Amy.
Sorry, Frodo. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed him. I think he's pretty fantastic. So yeah. So I hope he's not masked, but that's just the girl talking. So
Yeah. Perfect segue. Speak about girl talk.
I was just gonna say girl power. So
go ahead, Heather.
Yeah. So our girl Kelly Marie Tran, who plays Rose, has been very hot in the social medias, and wrote this really lovely set of words that I guess came out in New York Times. So bear with me. I'm going to read this because I think it's really, really important. She states, I want to live in a world where children of color don't spend their entire adolescence wishing to be white. I want to live in a world where women are not subjected to scrutiny for their appearance, or their actions, or their general existence. I want to live in a world where people of all races, religions, socioeconomic classes, sexual orientations, gender identities, and abilities are seen as what they have always been, human beings. This is the world I want to live in, and this is the world that I will continue to work toward. These are the thoughts that run through my head every time I pick up a script, or a screenplay, or a book. I know the opportunity given to me is rare. I know that I now belong to a small group of privileged people who get to tell stories for a living, stories that are heard and seen and digested by a world that for so long has tasted only one thing. I know how important that is, and I am not giving up. You might know me as Kelly. I am the first woman of color to have a leading role in a Star Wars movie. I am the first Asian woman to appear on the cover of Vanity Fair. My real name is Lone, and I'm just getting started. And I hope I did not butcher your name, your real name, but I just think she's a classy lady, and I think she's eloquently put into words how she feels, and good on her for taking a stand and getting back into the Star Wars universe.
Yeah. Yeah, and she basically dispels toxicity and just saying, I don't care what you guys are throwing at me. I'm going to make that happen and not believe all this negativity that you guys are spewing at me. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's pretty powerful. What do you think there, Mr. Aaron?
Well, yeah, I mean, I got nothing to say against that. That's I agree. Like, let's stop with the silly nonsense, and we got so much Star Wars to talk about. Like, stop wasting your time being a jerk online.
I was wondering what you were going to say there.
I ran through about 5 or 6 things that are unmentionable.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, this is what the Star Wars community is, and as a whole, like the world should be. Is just like, there's all these different species and different people, and Doesn't mean that you have to all be the same, but it's just like trying to have that decency and just respect towards people, I think is very, very important in this time. So I'm glad she's kind of rising above and be like, forget you guys. I know what I'm doing and being driven by that. So it's pretty cool. Aaron, what else is going on?
Quite a few things.
Yeah, I know. Busy week.
Well, the Richard E. Grant will not be playing Thrawn in Star Wars Episode 9. So,
no.
I know. Pour one out for your homeboy.
Yeah.
So Richard E. Grant was casted for Star Wars 9.
Yep.
Everyone's like,
Thrawn.
They're looking at a picture of Thrawn, looking at a picture of Richard E. Grant.
Right. It's like,
wait a minute.
Is that the
These
same guy?
look pretty similar. And
right.
so that was fresh gristle for the rumor mill. And people are like, Grand Admiral Thrawn, he's going to be in Star Wars Episode 9.
Another
well,
fan
put
theory.
that rumor to bed.
It
Take it out
happening.
back. Bury it.
Yeah.
It's not happening. So
Right.
sorry, but
Well,
you heard it here first.
No, I'm just gonna, and then I'll just throw one more fan theory on it. It's just like, there's quite a few appearances, and lately with like Solo, like Enfys Nest, they never announced that actor who played Enfys Nest, and she didn't even show up at the premiere. She was like total like incognito. So you never know. There could be Thrawn could show up right at the end, and it could be some unlisted character, uncredited character. You're like, oh my gosh, but you never know. So
You think they paid her extra for that? Like, listen,
yes,
take the night off. You're gonna miss out on your 15 minutes of fame, but here's a brown envelope.
Okay. Here's like a would you rather,
Take a breath, Todd. You got this.
Well, it just makes me think, would you rather be in a Star Wars film and be well known, but only have like a minute of like screen time? Or would you want to be featured in the film for a long period of time, but no one knows who you are?
Whichever one leads to me not getting harassed on Twitter. Is that can I make that choice? No?
Sure.
Aaron just drops the mic. Yep.
Yeah. That could be a third option.
Yeah.
Heather, what do you think? Would you rather be known in the Star Wars universe for like a minute, or like be in a significant part, but no one knows who you are?
I want to say that the non-selfish Heather would be like, yeah, I'll just be in it and no one needs to know me. Yeah. That's a tough one. Yeah, I'll go with be a significant part of it, but nobody knows me. I think, just if I look specifically just at Effie's Nest, she was killer in the film.
Yeah.
I really liked her.
Mm-hmm.
I think just her look was really good. I think her stage presence was amazing.
Yeah.
I looked her up and she didn't need to be famous for that. So
yeah, it's Erin Kellyman is her name. Erin Kellyman. She's 19. So yeah.
Makes me feel bad about my life, but whatever.
But could you imagine being Erin, like watching the Star Wars show, like live streaming the red carpet premiere of Solo, and you're like, dude, I'm like one of the main people in this, and I can't even show up to the red
secret.
Right. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with you, Heather. Same thing. I'm like, I want to have a significant part. I don't care if people know who I am, but I would be on IMDb. Be like, boop, that's me right there. Mm-hmm. So there you go. Okay, 2 final notes. There's so much Star Wars stuff going on. It's crazy.
I know, it's been a drought, and now we're drinking from a fire hose.
That's right. I told Aaron this last week, Heather, but like these are things that keep me up at night. They're filming episode 9. We are literally 27 days in of them filming. New Star Wars is happening right now. Like right now.
Gosh.
I know.
Right now?
Like right now, across the pond, it's happening. I can't take it. So finally, leaked photos have happened. This happens all the time. First, by making Star Wars, you got a Falcon in the woods. There's a couple shots of the Millennium Falcon, the huge Millennium Falcon in some tree forest area. And then The Sun, which is a British newspaper that, kind of tabloidy, but they leaked some photos. We got Finn, we got Poe on a grassy hill together, rolling around. No, they're not.
Romance.
The bromance is happening. I know Aaron's happy. And there's Chewbacca by a horse. So I can't tell you what this is happening, but these are some of the leaked photos that happened over the last weekend, and the Twitter and the internet was blazing about it. So there you go. If Chewie rides a horse, I might have to lay down for a little bit. I don't know if I could.
Is that one of those? Is that okay for someone like Chewie to do, or is that like a machines making machines situation?
Dude, I think it's okay, man. I don't say that. It's kind of like this Disney flicks where like some of the animals are talking, but then there's always like one or two animals that don't talk, and they're just animals. It's like.
Dude. Why is Pluto a dog and Goofy not a dog?
Thank
Goofy
you.
and Pluto are the same species. Like, what's going on?
Oh, these are other things that keep me up at night, man.
That is a deep dark hole I don't want to go in.
Yeah. So anyways, leaked photos coming out. So again, we're 27 days in. I mean, we're going to see some stuff. So you pretty much have to stay off social media forever for at least 18 months or 16 months. So there you go. But and then finally, this just came out, and I mean, this is all subject to change, but the Disney streaming service is going to be called, here we go, drum roll, Disney Play. Blah.
Boring.
It's Iger's like, Google Play. Let's just take out the Google and put Disney. I would have been more happy if they went like Disney Flicks or something. I don't know. Right now, subject change. It's called Disney Play.
Why can't they just call it the Disney Vault? They've been doing that in their marketing on DVDs for decades. It's like, it's going into Disney Vault forever.
Right. Yeah. That's true. That's true. Heather, what do you think about Disney Play?
Whatever.
Yeah.
What do you think of Disney Play there, Heather?
Yeah. Ditto to what Aaron said. It's like, okay.
Whatever.
It's not that appealing.
No, it's not.
I mean, are they connected to Google Play on my Android device? Nope. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. It's just not very imaginative.
Yeah, they're going to take the little triangle play button that Google Play does and just put two ears on it. Yeah, two ears on it. And that's it. Call it a wrap.
Oh, man.
So there you go. That is all the news of the week. I mean, that's a ton. That's a ton. It's a chunk. So there you go. All right, moving on to Katina Chat. All right, Heather, anything geeky going on with you? What's happening?
So 2 weekends ago, since I missed you guys last week.
Yes. We don't even know what you're doing. I know.
I know. I went to this all-night flea market.
What?
I know. It started at 3 p.m. and went to 3 a.m.
Holy cow.
I went at like 8 p.m. because
that's
I'm
amazing.
an old lady and I don't want to be at there at 2 a.m. But
yes, but why?
But there was just tons of Star Wars merch everywhere. It was amazing. I bought this little Death Star for my friend Deb.
And
it was like an old McDonald's toy, but it had this like spring mechanism that when you squeezed it, the Death Star exploded. It was pretty fantastic.
Fantastic.
But yeah.
That's awesome.
So lots of really cool things. So I got to see like really old school stuff and obviously like the new school stuff. It's a flea market. They just do that.
It was a bonanza.
A bonanza.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that was sort of the big thing I feel like I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Aaron, what about you?
Well, had my first week of school and it was a hoot. I've been cooking.
You're scholastic for a week,
so yeah. We're by the time you hear this, we're midway through week 2. So
oh my gosh.
So not been doing too much Star Wars stuff except just chipping away at the Clone Wars. So
nice.
Halfway through season 2 now.
All right, cool, nice.
So I've not yet seen the Boba, but
not the Boba.
Fast approaching over the horizon.
What was the last episode? What was the last episode you watched? Like, what was going on?
Truth be told, I don't remember. It was maybe 3 days ago. So
there's some clones. There's some shooting.
Something like that.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, it's not until I like get into it and I'm like, okay, I'm on this episode. Oh, that's what happened. Okay.
Yeah. I got it. Yeah. Cool.
Sorry, but that's all I got.
It's okay. That's all good, man. It's all good. I mean, you're like scholastic now, so you can't like be.
Yeah, I'm deep in the Jedi archives.
yeah.
Scanning records, and I'm look up, and 3 days have passed, and I haven't eaten.
You haven't found your missing planet. It's very embarrassing.
What were you up to, Todd? Since I'm clearly not carrying the weight here.
That's okay. I redid the inside of my bucket for my trooper. So
that's right.
So there's like this headband thing that the Novus kit comes with. So it kind of just literally it's a headband and kind of velcros into the bucket. It was getting loosey-goosey and I just didn't like it and I couldn't really turn my head a lot. So I found a motorcycle kind of liner for a helmet and got crazy with the glue and the Velcro and got it in there and now it's nice and cushy. So, and I can move my head around a lot. So did that. So I was very happy with the results and it only cost me like $15. So I'm good with that.
Sweet.
So, yeah. So now I can be like turning my head and doing all that kind of fun stuff. So, and it's nice. It feels nice, it just feels nice. It wasn't super awkward. So
good.
Yeah. So that's what I did. That's the geeky thing of the week.
Right on.
Good geeky thing.
Yeah. Thank you. Heather, you want to wrap us up?
Let me put a bow on top of this, gentlemen.
Please do.
So, thanks again for listening to another episode of WSTR Galactic Public Access. Please check us out on social media, WSTR Media, all lowercase, all one word. And we do want to hear from you. So comment, tweet, rate us on iTunes. You can email us like our friend Carla did. Carla G. At mailbox@wstrmedia.com, and we'll give you a shout out on the podcast. Leave us a voicemail message at 630-557-WSTR, 630-557-9787. And leave us a voicemail, and we'll play it on the podcast.
Yeah, operators are standing by right now.
Basically, the cats are on standby. They are ready to take your call.
Meow, meow.
Meow. Yep. So, but if you've enjoyed this, check out our back catalog of episodes at www.wstrmedia.com. And don't forget to support us and check out our merch. We've got all the links on our social medias for that. So definitely enjoy a good cup of coffee with your mug supporting us.
Yeah. Take those pictures too, and then we'll put it on the socials.
Take the pictures. We'll share you all over the place, man. I think that's everything. You can get a hold of us. You can like us and tweet about us and talk to us and all the things. So
all those things.
the things. So, but next week, I don't want to spoil anything, but I think we're going to talk about Star Wars.
Shocking.
Stand back.
Say it ain't so.
Stand back. So
yeah, I feel like sometimes though we curse ourselves because we're like, oh, we're going to totally talk about this, and we have a planned schedule, and then something always comes up, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think we'll just kind of keep. Yeah, I think we'll just keep it real simple. This next week, we're going to talk about Star Wars, man, and something cool. Yeah, something cool is going to happen.
There you go. Oh man! All right. Well, I do need your help, gentlemen, to finish this out. So,
do you?
Mm-hmm.
I do.
You have what it takes, Heather.
I can do it all by myself, but that wouldn't be as much fun.
That's
because it'd be just completely awkward.
I guess I'll help.
Thanks, guys. So now
this is podcasting.
All right, when do I get paid?
You're no good to be dead.